Well, hello. Hi, everybody. My name is Clara. I am the co founder of List Perfectly, and thank you so much for watching us. We are live, and today our topic is very, very exciting because it's Q4 reseller strategy, sourcing, cross listing, shipping, and more. The best part is you bring your live questions. And with much further ado, I'm going to bring my incredible guest, Pam. Let's do this. How are you, Pam?
Hi, great. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed, Pam. Oh, well, thank you so much for joining me today. Can you hear me good? Do you see me good?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're looking
All right.
great. Thank you, everybody. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I am the co founder of List Perfectly. Pam does our community management, and especially in the Facebook group. You can interact with Pam directly. You can also tag me, interact with me, join us in the Facebook group. You can also follow us on Instagram. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching today. Pam, what do you think about this topic? Because guess who asked for this topic? Pam herself. So, Pam, share with us, the take of this session, everybody. We want you to take at least two actions from today's live that you're going to be implementing. But why, Pam, you were insisting on doing this session? Why is this so important for you?
Because Q4 is typically the busiest time of year for all of us resellers. It's where, even regular retailers, this is their time of year where they go from being in the red to being in the black. And, hopefully we're kind of in the black the whole year as resellers. But,
Right.
this is where we make that final push to get our final stats for the year. And, you know, some people, determine their value on how much money they've made and, you know, if you made your goal for the year. But
Right.
Q4 is what, like I said, what we wait for every year. Let these sales roll in and hear those cha-chings. Let's go.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. It's the happiest season of the year, regardless of what you sell, even if you sell summer items. Oh, hi, Vargas Company. First timer here. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Oh, happy to have you here. A lot of new faces. We're excited. A lot of new announcements today. So we're adding a channel. We're going to be talking about it. Which one do you think it is? Yes, we're adding a channel. One teaser I'm going to do, Pam. And, in the beginning, we thought that would be for Pro and Pro Plus. But to my surprise, we could make it happen to all plans. So it's going to be,
That was a huge announcement.
yeah.
So
Yep.
all of our plans are going to have access to the Whatnot platform.
Oh, you just
Everyone
gave it
from
away. You just gave it away.
oh, well, we gave it away in our Facebook group earlier this week
Ay,
anyway.
ay, ay, I love it.
Oh goodness. And we talked
It's a
about it
whatnot
Tuesday, so
marketplace. Okay, so yay, whatnot, welcome, whatnot. We're honored to collaborate and bring this marketplace to the List Perfectly family. This is very exciting. We've been talking about live sales. Yay! Live sales versus marketplace sales. So this is a Q4 topic, Pam. Coming, we are just adding a marketplace when it's coming Q4, when Q4 is here, I'm sorry. So this is one of the reasons we added this marketplace because you don't have to do live sales. To those of you, it's a very intense uh, lifestyle as a reseller. If you're going to be doing whatnot alone, okay, just know you're going to be very dedicated to whatnot. But what we say to those of you is always diversify, diversify, diversify. If you are a whatnot user, you get sick, there goes the sustainability of your income. So that's why it's good to diversify, to not put your chickens in one basket, your eggs in one basket, okay, diversify, and then consider always on top of doing live sales to have static listings, if you please, okay, on different marketplaces so you can maximize the return of profit. We all know that Whatnot is a platform that it helps you to sell inventory fast. That's the one thing about Whatnot. Hi, Desiree. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Laura. Yeah, hi, everybody. So,
The
yeah, we're
whatnot is
very
more like
excited.
more whatnot is more like the fast dime versus the slow nickel. Or oh my gosh, I got that backwards. The fast nickel
Did they
versus
do
the
that to you?
slow dime. So, um, so I mean, and it's a good way to if you've got too much inventory. I know some of us do. Like you
Yeah.
can, offload it quicker than putting it on clearance in your eBay or Poshmark store.
Exactly. And don't forget that the more stale listings or you have on your store, the more it's going to affect your visibility. If you have listings with impressions, watchers, and viewers, that's no problem. But if your listings are just there, so then that's not playing in your favor. That's a great idea, maybe exploring a new marketplace like Whatnot. Oh, thank you. Oh, this year was approved 1 year ago. So yes, everybody go and apply for Whatnot. Unlimited, all plans list perfectly. Is happy to welcome Whatnot to the family of platforms that we're happy to be integrated with. But with much further ado, let's get to our agenda. Q4. Okay, so Christmas and the holidays are here. Pam, the time. Isn't that for us resellers? Isn't like every year? It's like you finish, Q4, Q1, and it's like almost like it's a little holidays, and then you're again with Q4.
Right, for sure. I mean, Q4 we're super busy, and honestly, I found that even January is super busy. People get gift
Q1
cards and
is super
money.
busy. Yep.
hmm
The
So it's
tax
a great.
return money for me that I sold one of a kind, it's or someone else or will get it or me selling an emotional, item like it's vintage clothing. For me, such an emotional purchase.
For sure. And I can't say enough about it. Like I said earlier, it's a favorite time of year. And the fact that it rolls into January, it gets us off to a really good start, and hopefully it keeps up that motivation to keep going,
Yes,
keep listing and
absolutely.
keep selling. Because during the summer, we always have the summer slowdown and it kind of drains us a little bit. But we have to get out of that funk and realize that Q4 is coming. And
Yeah.
honestly, we should be prepared before right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Honestly,
Q4 for me starts in July because that's when you start source that what you're sourcing in July is what you're going to be selling for me in December. For me, my turnaround, knowing I think that resellers, number one thing, you need to know your sell through rate. And that's something that you need to know how long it takes you on an average to sell an item. Sometimes some of us will discriminate that data by category. That's how advanced some people we go. That's what I did, okay? But I knew my sell through rate, my return of investment, my average sold price. Those are metrics that will help you tremendously to grow strategically instead of growing with the flow. I'm all about following the flow, but you have to put strategy on it.
and you have to know what sells. I mean, I could buy the coolest stuff in the world that I think is cool.
Right.
But if nobody else thinks it's cool, it's not going to sell. There's so many times that I'm at a thrift store or a yard sale and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is
I
so cool. I
know.
remember this from when I was a kid. And you look it up and it's like $8. And I'm like, oh. So just because you think it's cool, it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody else is going to think it's cool and want to buy it.
That is so true.
So
That's the difference between emotional sourcing versus strategic sourcing, doing it with data. So don't forget, List Perfectly has unlimited Google Lens and eBay price research right there from LP. You are communicating directly. You don't even need to retype. On eBay, you need to type what you're looking for. With LP, you just go directly into the comparables. So don't forget those tools. Please, everybody that is watching, I want you to use the update feature of List Perfectly. That does not end listings, will not destroy the hard work SEO that you got from marketplaces. Please increase your prices by 10 or 20%. Worst case scenario, you can do a deeper discount sale later. All right.
that's what I said the other day in our
Mm.
mastermind that we have Monday through Friday at 9 Eastern time in listing party, part of your LP subscription. Just going to throw that out there right now. But that was one thing that I suggested was that, start high. You can always come
Yep.
down. But if
Right.
you sell something for $10 in like 5 minutes, you know that it was priced too low. And that happened
Yep.
with me. I think recently I had gotten
Oh, really?
this brand new sealed CD, and
Uh,
and it was
oh,
nowhere near.
Pam.
I know, but
Ooh, the
I paid like
seal,
nothing
brand new
for it.
CD. Okay, just the condition, just 50% of the value there. Okay.
I know it
Wow.
sold super fast, and then the guy
Nice.
got it and he said, "Oh, it arrived great. Thanks for this rare CD." And I sold her for $15. So,
Oh,
but I got it was in a bulk lot that I bought that I paid like
yeah.
$10 for. So
Right,
the
right,
whole
right.
thing paid for the rest of the lot. So I'm okay
Absolutely.
with it. And if whatever he wants to do with it, that's fine. But that's just the point that I mean, there was
Yeah.
really nothing for me to compare it to because I guess it was that rare. I guess I really should have listed it
And you know
higher.
what? I hear that a lot from resellers, Pam. So I'm going to give you guys a formula, okay, when you have no comparables. If you have no comparables, quality and condition will drive the value on that item. Quality and condition. So if you see that, let's say that CD has a nice design, okay, or a rare, not even nice. Sometimes we don't even have to agree. For example, I'm not a person that likes skulls, but I know a lot of friends that they love anything skull related, right? So as long as it has like a skull design that is like not like something that you can print generically, I highly recommend you guys that when you have no comparables, the uniqueness and the condition of that item will drive the price. And when in doubt, with Amanda, we had this rule, Pam, that when we were in doubt, we would price it at $500. And I cannot even tell you how many times we thought of listing something for $50, and then we would list at 500. And you know how it is when your price is like way off the hook. People will message you a lot telling you I love this item, but you will never sell it because you're, I don't
Mhm.
know, whatever you are, they tell you all kind of things. But I recommend you that one, Pam, when in doubt, condition, because those one of a kind in new in box or dead stock, like we say, when it's vintage, something that is new in box is called dead stock or new all stock. Okay, that means that it's still in the original condition, with or without, okay, tags or the wrapping, original wrapping of the item, but it's still in mint condition, whether has issues or not. Okay, that's a new all stock. Or so that I think is important to know, Pam. So good point that you brought. Okay, unique items are hard to price, and what to do.
Right. I mean, I said, hey, start high, you can always come down. And then, so do as I say, not as I do. And especially now in Q4, now is the time to definitely, like Claire was saying, up your price by 10 or 20% because people are looking for that unique item and they will pay more.
Right,
Um, they will pay more for, a unique item for a gift.
right,
You know what,
exactly.
Todd? I did see it on Discogs and it said that it was selling for like $36, but I didn't honestly trust it. So I listed it for 20 and then it was on sale for 25% off. So they bought it
I'm
for 15.
curious. Why wouldn't you trust the data from that marketplace? What was it? Because you think it's a small marketplace? I'm just curious. What determined you not to trust that data? Because if you're doing that, many other sellers right now are doing this at home as well.
I don't know if I saw a similar thing on a similar CD on Amazon or just because it was didn't seem that special at all to me. It
Right,
was nothing like it was nothing I'd ever heard of. It's not like a famous artist. It was like a I want to say it was more like a compilation CD. So
right.
I don't know. I just didn't really think it was worth that much. But still, I'm okay with the sale
Hey,
because
you
it
learn
paid for
from
the
that
whole thing.
assumption. And the most important thing, you might have lost some money, but you learn a very valuable experience. And now you will research and trust a little more, maybe. So that's a good point that you brought because you saw it for 30 something and change on Discogs. Question: Did you see it in the same condition, Pam, or was it already opened and used?
No, Discogs just said that I think all right, now I'm really going to turn myself in. I think it said that there were none available or there were none out there and people
Right,
were
they sold
interested in
out. Okay, sold
it.
out.
And so it was new and it was sealed. So there was nothing for me to compare it to. So
Mm.
I don't know. I just didn't trust that it was worth it.
Right, 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 right. But hey, you know what? That's something that happened to all of us resellers. So I'm glad that you shared that story. That's a good one. So let's talk about real quick. I want to talk everybody. This is the time, Pam, of the year that we have to optimize titles. That's it. One of the things, listings, of course, but one of the things, and this is all data, but I just want to share with everybody. This comes from eBay Seller School on the examples of effective titles. Obviously, I have inserted this formula or algorithm for titles optimization into the listing assistant. Don't forget that listing assistant is in Simple, Business Pro, and Pro Plus, but listing assistant will work differently on each plan because as you go on higher plan, the more optimize your listing will be created with listing assistant. If you still want to create it manually and list perfectly your listings or tweak them, like we always say, this is a good example of how to do listings for apparel or clothing, consumable products or hard goods, electronics, seasonal items, books, and media, which are the most important categories. These come from eBay, which is the biggest marketplace that we have in List Perfectly.
I had spoken to one of those eBay people. I had a meeting with them a couple of weeks ago, and
Right?
he mentioned to me that the first 54 characters of your title is the most important thing. I know that
Absolutely.
we've somebody
Thank
has
you for
recently
bringing that up. Yes, 80 characters. Oh, good. But the first 40 characters.
54 is what he told me. And I don't know if that's all that you can see on mobile, but he said
Yeah.
the first 54 characters of the title are most important. One of the things that he told me is that a lot of my titles had vintage in the beginning of the
Right.
title. And he said that was not good to do. He said
Right.
to put that further along. And if I knew the
Right.
actual year, to put the year in. And he said that the best way to list your title is brand, item, and type.
Interesting. Here's a
Mhm.
rebuttal to what that person said about vintage or not. And this comes from 17 years of experience of reselling
Mhm.
vintage. Here is a problem why I always put vintage in front of anything that I was selling. Because let's say, even if it is Abercrombie and Fitch, or even if it is, for example, Alpha, I'm giving you brands that have been in business, H Bar C, Levi. If I didn't put vintage, the first question I would get is this vintage or reproduction?
He he said it was
Imagine all
okay
my
to have it
listings
in
are
there.
vintage. Imagine getting 20 of those questions every day. So that's why I started putting vintage, 80s, Levi's, and then you put our style or gender. But that's what I had to do in order to reduce these. But I know that now in eBay, I'm not sure other marketplaces, you can put, original, reproduction, etc. on item specifics.
Yeah, he said vintage was good to have. He just didn't like it in the beginning of my title.
Interesting. Interesting.
So
Makes sense. Makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
That's a good debate there. There you have it. We're debating. So
Mhm.
let's see what the audience is saying, everybody. Eddie's saying, do you think your everyday items like clothing and apparel might be more in demand as gifts this Q4 than usual? Yes, absolutely. Yes. And the reason that this is going to be more in demand, as usual, I'll never forget when Poshmark in 2020, I think, was Poshmark 2020 or 2021, I think, or eBay, when they said for first time people, 40% of the people of secondhand items were regifting. So I think that we are right now, Ed, on a part in which I'm grateful that secondhand clothing and secondhand items are trending. Back in the day when I started, when I was reselling vintage clothing, I always say this story. My brother told me, "What? You invested on dirty clothing?" And I was like, "No, bro, it's collectible clothing." But he's like, "But you're sending it to a dry cleaner." Well, yeah, I'm not gonna sell it dirty. So you're selling dirty clothing. And I'm like, "Oh gosh, here we go." So so I just want to put out there that 17 years this was unthinkable. Now it's going to be very strong. So make sure pictures, guys. Okay, remember taking pictures before. I want you to use listing assistant before you do the background removal. Listing, big tip, okay? This is a big tip moment, pro tip moment. Ha ha. Okay, first, okay, I don't care if it's dark, out of frame, blurry, whatever. I don't know if your cat is eating in the back. I don't care, okay? We're not gonna analyze that, okay? As long as you don't want to sell the kitty, no problem, okay? So, but please, please, please use the images as they are taken, whether with your phone or etc., or your device, etc., and then remove the background after you use listing assistant.
That was a tip that you gave me last September at the first Posh Fest that I went to, because I was telling you that I was doing the background removal. And I was going to photo room and taking out the background, and then I would put it in list perfectly. And you're like, Pam, you're doing this all wrong. And then I changed everything, and then my business blew up, like in the good way. Yeah, that's
Oh,
a great tip. So definitely don't do the background removal until you do the listing assistant.
absolutely, absolutely. That's a good tip to have. Okay, so I hope if you have any questions, okay, if you anybody, if you want to drop a link to a listing and we can do a content or a title or anything that you would like to ask us, you're more than welcome. We're here. I just want to remind you, keep sending your questions. We're here with Pam to answer your questions. All right. Yes, Todd, I agree. Discogs is a seriously used collectors data for music. A lot of collectors refuse to go anywhere else. That I gotta give it. When a marketplace hits their niche and they are able to create a community and between buyers and sellers, you hit it. So I know that Discogs is a very serious platform for music and anything else related like that. Angela, okay, Angela says, my time, it was hard to believe my CD was worth over 100, especially in fair condition. Okay, yes, I believe, Angela. And that's a thing, that, sometimes we have these preconceptions and then data will help us to make a better decision. Um, let's see, Pam. What do you think, Pam? What would you say when you sell, Pam? Do you remind me what did you like? Oh, you sell a little of everything, right?
That's why I'm hodgepodge Pam. I sell a hodgepodge of stuff. Mm-hmm.
In Pam, do you use mannequins? Do you use models? Have you used
Um,
them in the past at all?
I have some half female mannequins. I have used those in the past. I have a big hanger that I use. I do some flat lays, not a lot because it takes up a lot of room. It
Oh,
depends what the item is. It depends what the size is. Like if it's a plus size item, I really do like to have it on a mannequin because it shows the shirt better. I mean,
right,
if you have a plus size shirt on a hanger, it kind of gets droopy and it
right,
doesn't really look very good. So I like to have it on a mannequin. If it's like a small t-shirt, you can put it on a hanger. Just it'll pretty much show you whatever it is.
right.
So I all different kinds of things, but definitely depending on the size of the clothes, it
And you
depends
know
what I
why
use.
I ask you that, Pam? Because we're
No.
bringing the staging from photo room to list perfectly. So yes, we're gonna be up and buckle up, okay? Hang in there. It'll take a little, all right, but it's
Well,
coming, all right? Buckle up because
well,
it's coming. We're gonna be able just with a button, okay, to insert your items and make it staged with the help of our friends in Photo Room. That we were very happy. Thank you, friends in Photo Room. Thank you for a great product. So we're excited. We don't have any TA, but what we do have is for next week, whatnot. Okay, so in the meantime, get ready for whatnot.
yes, for sure. That's going to be a good one.
Yep,
And
yep.
we have a listing party today for Q&A for new whatnot sellers.
Oh
So
yes, 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 yes.
if you want to, if you've got questions, if you have never sold on there, one of our resident whatnot users, Marie, is going to answer your questions for new beginners, new seller Q&A with whatnot.
There you go. You can even add it to the calendar. You can add it to Google Outlook, download the event. Then prior to, let's see, then we have ledgers and lattes on Saturday. On Monday, we have Picks by Jewelry with Nisha, how to sell jewelry. Of course, we have Mastermind at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 a.m. that I did today, 6 a.m. West Coast. Okay, I did it this morning. Thank you,
You
Pam,
did fantastic at 6 a.m.
oh, I'm a people. I love people. So I'm like, anytime I'm with people, I get excited. I get energized.
And you were on
Let's
for 2 hours. I
I
forgot that it was
know.
6 a.m.
And the
there.
only reason I left is because I had other meetings. I no, no, no. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I'm having too much. It was so many good things that they were saying. Oh, wow. Oh, it's really raining here in Arizona. Oh, wow. All right. So sorry about that. I just got an alert from the, those phone alerts, okay, saying that we're having severe rain. All right. Desiree says, I have been updating all listings and now I'm selling items that have been sitting for years. Exactly. So there is, I'm curious, Desiree, are you using Dilly's Release or are you using update feature? What's been giving you the most, especially because you're mentioning that you have a couple of items that have been hanging out for years. Um, oh, Todd says, now that I'm done pumping gas, spam, I sold a CD that was worthless to me for $250. It wasn't on any platform. There you go. Again, guys, when you are in doubt, can you please, okay, when in doubt, you're not going to lose anything. Okay. And this is what I did. Okay. When in doubt, just put 500. And then when people are telling you you're crazy and nuts, just say, oh, I meant to put 50. Worst case scenario, you make a mistake, but make sure I even all my templates, Pam. You know what I did but to stop giving it away for so cheap? It would all my templates. I save it with a higher price.
That's great. That's
Uh
great,
huh.
especially because USPS is doing their holiday surcharge this year too. I don't know if you're aware of that, but they're doing a holiday surcharge. So definitely, I
Good.
would add a dollar or two
Right.
to your prices just to eat that up a little bit.
Yeah.
For
I do
sure.
about so there you have it. There is a holiday surcharge. I honestly never heard of that one when I was. Is that with USPS?
Yep, they did it a couple of years ago,
No.
and I don't believe they did it last year. But we just got notification this week that it was happening again this holiday season. I didn't see what day that or what the date is that it was changing when I read the information, but we'll definitely look into that and see if we can post that in the group to see when those surcharges happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good idea to do your business policies, increase it all by a dollar. That would work. Or if you can absorb it, it might be even better because then your shipping prices are going to be more competitive than your competitors.
Right.
So you might get the sale over the other person. If, say, for example, I'm shipping things for $6.99 and you're shipping things for $7.99, we have the exact same product. I would go with me versus you because of that dollar. So if you can absorb the dollar, it might be worth taking the chance, keeping your prices the same for now, just for the holiday season. If
Right.
the surcharge doesn't come off, like some people think it might not come off, then I would look at increasing.
Yep.
And Ed says October 5th is when it'll change. Wow,
Oh,
that's pretty
really?
fast. All my
Oh,
sisters are
really?
ready.
Oh, there you go. There you have it. Okay. Thank you, Ed. Thank you. Thank you. October 5th. Back, put it on your calendars, guys. Okay. So, that's when the surcharges will happen. So just increase it. Yep. Make sure Valerie says what they had the holiday price increase last
Oh,
year
they
as
did?
well. It
Hmm.
always hits in October. Thank you, Valerie. Appreciate it. Okay, so you might as well add it, guys. To your calendar and just set it up for October. Make sure that you are padding so you do not take on that holiday surcharge. Make sure you can easily update all your listings in bulk with list perfectly with prices, title, images, SKU, many values you can change. Different plans can offer you different values to change.
While we're talking about shipping, we should probably talk about
Yeah,
your Q4 shipping
please. Yes. How
discount.
do I get the eBay coupon, Pam?
All right. Oh, we didn't go over this. How do I show my screen?
Oh,
Hold on.
yes, very simple. So you see there is a camera icon. So right next to
Yep.
the camera icon is
Yep.
screen, this plus sign. Click on that one.
Okay.
Once you click on that one, the last option, share screen. And
Yep.
then share screen, you're going to choose the right tab.
Oh, perfect.
I love the software.
You're so smart. You're so smart. Thank you for helping me out. So we get this question all the time, every quarter.
Yeah,
So we're going to go over it right now because
right.
the third quarter shipping coupon expires on September 30th. So where did I go? Hold on, let's get back here. I had it set up. Here it is. So let's
Happens
go
every
to
time.
my eBay, and then you are going to go to marketing. Go down to subscriber discounts. And here it is, your eBay shipping supplies discount. So if you hit see details, see it ends September 30th. So you've got, what, 3.5 days?
Right.
So you get your code, copy that, and then you can just go to start shopping.
Nice.
And I think I have $25 with my store level. So
Right.
you can pick whatever you need from here. Not a
Yeah.
lot of things are $25 anymore, I'll just say. But the way I look at it is even if I was to buy, say, these, where are they? The craft mailers, I just went by it. Where are they? Here. These, I'm going to pay $1.69 plus tax for, I'm
Right.
assuming, 25 of them. I mean, it's still cheaper than whatever you're going to get on Amazon. Oh, no,
Absolutely.
you get
And
50
on top
mailers,
of
even
that,
better
this is
than that.
branded.
Yep. And I know Teresa will tell you this, and I have done the same thing, is that
Uh-huh.
it doesn't matter to me what it says on the package. I'll send a Poshmark order, an Etsy order out in an eBay bag or box. I mean,
Right.
it's a shipping vessel. As long as it's not like a food container, it's good to go. Sometimes I'll put my shipping label over the eBay logo on
Right.
the top of the box, but I'm not going above and beyond to cover it up. It's what I have. It's like if you're reusing an Amazon box. If you're
Yeah.
reusing an Amazon box, you're not going to cover up everything that says Amazon on it. So why would you do that for eBay or, if you're selling on Poshmark or Etsy? And the other
Right.
point I wanted to make about shipping supplies is this has obviously been a very hot topic in regards to ordering ground advantage supplies from USPS for Poshmark.
Well,
I say order what you can order, but
yeah.
and I know that somebody in our group, I want to say it was Ed, he got some. I believe he showed us what they were on one of the posts in our Facebook group.
Yeah.
But they've been very overwhelmed. You know that whenever a reseller here is free, they're like they're there. They're getting their free stuff. So they were overwhelmed when they initially put it out there. So it's been taking, I think, about 2 weeks at least for people to get their supplies. I don't know
Right.
how many they have on
Well,
hand.
oh yeah, that's normal order. Yes, that is up. Whether it's USPS, eBay, you name it, everybody always have delays, Pams.
Right. So yeah, see, I did see Ed's post about that. my point being is that I would also have other shipping supplies on hand. You can
Right.
order plain white mailers pretty inexpensively off of Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
You can, I see them all the time on my Facebook marketplace. People are giving away free boxes. There's somebody on there right now that has like a bunch of free
That is so
Amazon
good.
mailers. I reuse my Amazon mailers all the time that I get.
Yeah,
Sometimes I put it,
absolutely. You
yeah,
must reuse because if people want new boxes, they will go to Amazon. But if they're buying from eBay resellers and they're buying a second hand, now, if you're buying, of course, a Gucci purse like we gave away on Poshfest, you might not want to put it, okay?
right.
But anyways, but other than that, obviously, recycling and repurposing your shipping supplies, it's an absolutely admitted practice. Me as a shopper, I don't mind. That's the reason we buy from eBay resellers, because we are here to support small business. So embrace the practice that as long as you make it neat and with clean supplies, you can always reuse it.
Right. And as long as it's not, the package isn't compromised and whatever item it is that you're shipping is going to get to your buyer safely, because that's important as well, making sure that it gets there safely. So if your box is not oh my gosh, I can't talk today, taped correctly, then, it might fall out, it might get damaged. So make sure that it's well. Um,
Yeah.
I make my
So
own stickers on my Rolo printer that says recycled packaging,
yeah,
just so
and you
people
can
know.
also do it on the printers. If you have the Pro Plus, you're printing the inventory labels. All right, you can also use these printers to use recycled packaging. But I like it, 10th and Main. I love that you're using your eBay credit for recycled packaging and embracing that practice. That's a very good practice. Everybody reselling on eBay should be embracing that exception. Obviously people selling high end and luxury items.
And, when people, I think it's really big now for people. We've been talking about it for, um, like everybody's into this thrifted clothing and secondhand and reusing
Uh,
things.
yes.
It goes along those same lines with the packaging as well. If we can at least get it used one additional time, it saves packaging and it stays out of the landfill for at least an extra time. And I'm really
Exactly.
big on that
Yeah,
personally.
absolutely. Reduce, reuse. And Chris says, thank you, Chris. Even though they only say USPS on the packaging, my post office said it's Poshmark paying for them. Yes, that is correct. Okay. So they got a nice, Poshmark is very well known for their, I would say, the marketplace that has the best deal with a shipping service, at least that I know, as big as USPS. Thank you for sharing that. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, everybody. So, Pam, anything else? We're getting close to wrap this up.
We are. Sandy just put a great thing in the chat.
Okay,
I never
Sandy.
even thought of this. She goes to Kohl's and they have a bunch of used padded mailers. When people bring their return,
Oh,
that is great.
thank you,
And
Sandy. Pro tip. There you have it, Sandy. Amazing. Thank you.
And to piggyback off what Chris said, I did read somewhere that the barcodes on the boxes that you get from USPS for Poshmark are only supposed to be for Poshmark. There's
Mm,
people that are going to argue back and forth whether they are for it or aren't for it, and maybe you might get caught if this really is a thing once in a while. But personally, it's not a chance I'm willing to take for either
no.
my customer or my bottom line. There's so many free boxes out there. You can ask your neighbors, you can put it on OfferUp, you can put it on Facebook Marketplace, you can ask your friends. Hey, everybody's ordering from Amazon. We
Yeah,
know this. We see the
absolutely.
Amazon trucks everywhere. People
Yeah,
get boxes all the time. If you don't want to pay for a box, there's plenty of places where you can get the free boxes.
right.
Um, Ask for them, look for them. I personally just wouldn't take a chance on it.
Exactly, because this is a federal crime. If we, I remember back in the
Mhm.
day when people would use USPS boxes, big ones for moving. No, those are not for moving. Okay, they are meant to send mail. So yeah, absolutely. I think we will need to get clarification. From until we don't have an official communication from USPS. I think the one that has the final word here is USPS, regardless who paid it. Okay, so I think if you are watching this and you are in doubt, when in doubt, like I always say, don't do it. First ask.
For sure. And the bottom line is that you don't want your customer to get a notice on their package that they owe postage. It'll probably come back to you that you owe postage, but personally, I I just don't want to take the chance. I don't want to upset my buyers.
Exactly. Exactly. Good one. What a great session, Pam. What a great session. All right. So we got of really good tips about shipping, sourcing, cross listing, whatnot, and whatnot, right? And I just want to invite everybody to join us in Listing Party. Right now, we're going to wrap this up and we'll see you next week. Next week is going to be our first live about what not. And yes, Hodgepodge Pam is going to join us again. She's our what not guru here in List Perfectly. So, Pam, we'll see you next week. To those of you attending in YouTube and to those of you joining us in Listing Party, I want to remind you that if you are joining List Perfectly, any List Perfectly plan gives you unlimited access to Listing Party, same user ID, same password. And even those of you that you're using the 5-day money back guarantee, you also have access to Listing Party. So you have no excuses. I'll see you there. Thank you, Pam, for co-hosting this with me.
Welcome.
Thank you, everybody. Let's go to
Thanks
Listing
for
Party,
being
or I'll
here.
see you next weekend. Bye,
Happy
Pam. Bye,
Q4.
everybody.